yes, these are regular people who just want to make money on their money. And we have a particular deal in, on a house, single-family home, and together, instead of them just being an investor and saying, okay, we'll pay you, 8% over 6 months, we joined forces as joint ventures, and all of us are making 26.27% on that deal over a 2.5-year time period. And we're cash flowing all the way across the street. So is it worth it for somebody who wants to have cash flow in their lives every month? Yes, because we're all cash flowing at the front of the deal, in the middle, and at the end. But more importantly than that, we helped somebody who didn't want that house anymore because they had already moved on to Texas. And we helped a couple get in there who otherwise would not have been able to do it. So it's a win-win for everybody. So yes, it's worth it for them.
Yeah, really good strategy. So, you gotta call these people up, you gotta call up Roberta and Keith, gotta call up Linda. These are good local sources for you. And then keep looking for, other places spread out, but don't spend your money.
Right, absolutely. And for us, we love, supporting Dan's event and the other local clubs. We've run one for 3 years in Lompoc. However, this year, we will be the first traveling real estate investors club. And we will go from, down here to Dan's, all the way up to Paso Robles. And so instead of having a meeting once a month in the same place, we will be the traveling real estate investing club up and down the Central Coast.
Congratulations.
So, it's a lot of fun, right? So that's what we're doing. If we can, offer you free business building, marketing, real estate investing, hop on the calls, go to our website, go to our Facebook page, Real Estate Investors Wealth Academy on Facebook. A lot of free information on there as well.
It's great. It's great.
So,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thanks, Dan. Thank you.
Spend some time, get some education, some knowledge. And Victor, you want to come and say a little bit about what you've been up to?
Yeah, sure.
Come on up. Victor is amazing. Let's give Victor a hand here. First, you got time how we met.
I met Dan on Craigslist.
We do a lot of business on Craigslist.
I've got majority of my business off of Craigslist
That's good.
for free, no money out of pocket, and it's been a blessing. Thank you very much, Dan, for everything.
Yeah. So Victor told me that he wanted to do some kind of real estate. He's done some stuff back in Texas with somebody, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for myself and my family, which comes first, and having to pay anything out of pocket. And when somebody's trying to get over me, I realized that, and I'm just like, okay, I know what's involved. I got a good sense of everything that's going on, and I know what I'm capable of and the contacts I have. And when someone's trying to use me for something, see you later.
What kind of people do we look for to work with?
Easy people, very likely just like us. People that need help. I love helping people. Dan's helped me a lot in his family and the company. I've been very fortunate. And Michael as well with the technical support, Michael. Easy people just that need that assistance and assurance of a cash buyer, and as long as they can meet our terms on our contracts, on our purchase agreements, and we can rewrite the contracts, you and I. And they're more than happy to work with us, like the guy in San Francisco. We're actually going to be closing on maybe this month.
Hey.
Yep.
Wow, that's that is a $6.5 million prop.
6.5.
Well,
I lowered it to 5 million.
Yes. Hey. So you just have to work with the people long enough that they can go to their realtor. They can go wherever they want to go. When they give up and say, geez, I just can't find qualified buyers, if we can get them something,
Yeah.
It's just a race to see who gets there first. And if we get there and they're happy they do it, his person that's selling this property up in San Francisco, which is right on the way to the Golden Gate Bridge on Baker Street.
Magnificent views. It's
Beautiful.
worth a lifetime accomplishment to get there.
So basically he said, hey, look, I will even pay the finder fee. And we said, well, the finder fee is $20,000, and we usually have the buyer pay that. Are you sure you want to pay that? He goes, yeah, I'll pay that. You bring me a buyer, I'll pay the $20,000. So we'll split 10 and 10, right?
No problem. I'll do it.
Yeah.
If anybody else is interested, go ahead and contact Dan or visit my table, and we'd be more than happy to get you guys started.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, he definitely, at some point, you guys have got to talk to him some more, whether it's here, on the phone, at home, you know, texting, emailing, whatever.
Yeah.
On the technical side, what happened with your computer you were using, and how did you move from that to what you're using
Yeah,
now?
I went from an HP to a Chromebook. Thank you for the recommendation.
Michael?
Michael, also from the iPad, getting onto the iOS, converting it to the Social Zing, what we're currently now using, was very difficult. Prolonged everything. Ever since I got the Chromebook, it's just been, you know, oh my God, just so much faster and very, very easy to use. You know, flip it open, it's already there. I'm just ready to go and conducting my business and contacting these motivated sellers and getting them under contract. And you know, it's all about time. You know, I haven't paid anything out of pocket. Like I said, Dan has been very fortunate and a good mentor for me and his family doing everything I'm doing. And you know, it just takes doing things that others won't to get where you want to be. And I believe anything's possible if you want to do it. And I'm living it. So.
Yeah, it's good. He's doing a great job. You really I'll tell you, it's not easy, because what happens is we have, and Victor knows, because we're doing these live things on Saturdays, and we have different people get on the phone, and he's worked with them, I've worked with them, and we'll say, well, you know, here's what we're doing the wholesaling, quick flips, whatever, and invariably they'll come back and say, oh, well, I just went to this seminar, and I really heard about, what was it, I can't remember, it was...
One of those guys on ABC, or, you know, pay $50,000 to learn how to wholesale.
Right, it's a completely different thing, or, you know, when people die and they go into the next phase of selling those properties off, whatever it is, I say, hey, look, you know, what we're doing is working. We've been there where you're going. It's a lot harder. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but you're going to spend a lot more time, it's going to be a lot more difficult, and, you know, why not do it? I mean, that's our whole thing. We want to get the low-hanging fruit, something that's really easy that works, and we want the people that are easy to work with.
Yes.
You know, if we have Bill Gates, or we have Warren Buffett, who's got billions of dollars, and I'm not saying that they're a pain in the ass because I don't even know them, but if the people are a pain, we don't need the money that much. We're just not going to work with them. So whether they're people we're training or people that are big-time investors, whatever, we're looking for easy people to work with that makes our life fun and enjoyable, because it's your choice. Why would you wake up in the morning and choose and go, oh, I got to work with that person today? It's your choice. You don't have to work with that person on any day.
Great jobs for that reason.
Yeah, right. That's the freedom that you get here, and being able to pick and choose who you work with. And I know at some points it sounds counterproductive because you might make less money, but the truth is, if you're happy, you're a lot more productive and a lot more creative than you are if you're unhappy, no matter how much money you think you're going to make.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, and Michael's great tech support, Chromebook. Anybody in here using a Chromebook? Anybody know what a Chromebook is?
Highly suggest you get one.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are computer literate. So
Yeah.
Chromebook is just something that you don't have to put any applications on. There's no viruses or anything else. The services that we provide, Victor and everybody else, is not only real estate, and not only goal setting, and not only, you know, marketing, but it's also the technical side. But Michael's really good. You know, we had this thing up there about credibility, and I said, well, Michael, where's your credibility for showing people how to do computer work? And he looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I pulled up this picture, and I said, do you remember this picture? And it was a picture of him sitting there with this little hat on and, you know, his Barney clothes or whatever it was at 2 years old on the computer. You know, he's been on a computer for a long time, so if you want to get with somebody who knows what they're doing on a computer, Michael knows. So it's good tech support. It's helped Victor out a lot. That's kind of some of the stuff we can do. Now, you remember you signed up for Social Zing, and I thought it was going to be a lot easier to do Social Zing than it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit and just give us a sense of you going out and trying to do the business rather than me doing it.
Yeah, definitely it takes time, you know, from what my passion is, real estate, that's where I want to be. And Social Zing just offers another way to supplement income. You know, if you put, like anything else in life, you put in the time, you're going to reap the benefits and the rewards. You know, Dan has been great, you know, providing me, you know, other information and ways how to do it without charging anything. We don't charge people anything. People call me all day asking, hey, how do I get into this, and what do I charge them? I tell them, how about your time? And that's about it, and we go from there.
Yeah, so socializing, I thought was gonna be real quick, no-brainer. I mean, who would pass up this kind of marketing technology? Really, really good, and if you're already paying $100 a month between something like GoToMeeting and eye contact, or constant contact, or something else, why wouldn't you just drop that stuff and move on? Well, it's not that easy to talk people into it, but as you build teams, you know, one could be on the customer side and just use it for their business, one could be on the networking side and actually build people up underneath them. Well, we're really here to help build your team. In fact, my sister back there, Sharon, yay! I went to Vegas with one of Linda Leagas's expos, and we're there, yay! We're there doing all this real estate stuff, and my sister says, well, you know, I'd like to go with you. And I said, yeah, why don't you come and you can kind of promote that socializing thing. And at the time, she talked to me, and it would have been a whole month before I really kind of regrouped with her. And I thought, why would somebody pay $100 a month, it's really $99, for something that you could do manually with Facebook when this thing supposedly does it automatically with, you know, socializing? Why would they pay that much, right? Why would they do that? Well, when I got to Linda's meeting, and my sister and I sat down at the table, and she goes, Danny, because, you know, I'm Danny, I'm not Dan in her life. High school name Danny. Okay, that's my mom. So she starts showing me this stuff, and you really have to have somebody sit down and kind of give you an idea of all the different tools. And Lindy is starting to get an idea of the different tools of socializing. And what you begin to find out is this is way, way more involved than just doing something on Facebook. And so my thing is to kind of help people get started on their marketing, but also help build their teams. And so, you know, I'm helping Greg and I'm helping Lindy do their marketing, and they've signed up for socializing. And when they signed up, guess who I put them under so it would help their income? I put them under Victor. Now Victor's here, he can help them eventually if he wants to, he doesn't have to. The thing about this marketing is you don't really have to do anything more than say, hey, here's a video, clue into the tools, if you like it, go for it, whatever. But you have an opportunity where if you'd like to make some extra income, you could learn about all that stuff and go, I know you got a business, Steve, but I know you don't want to spend all the time at marketing in your business because you told me you don't want to. So we have these people that can help you, and some can do it for 15 bucks an hour, some can do it for 30, 40, or 50, or 60, depending on their level of expertise and who you want to work with. That's the opportunity of creating a job within a job of this marketing, okay? So where's the difficult point? I would say anybody who doesn't have any business going on right now, and they want to get involved in socializing, if you're going to pay $100 a month right off the bat, and it's going to be a little bit tricky starting off. If you've already got a business and you're already paying about $100 a month, then it's an easy thing to segue into it, but you're still going to need somebody to help you get going. That's what we're here for. The next thing I'm going to do once you are going is I'm going to come back to Lindy, because Lindy's doing more the technical side, and I think Greg's doing more of the health side, obviously. And so what I'll be doing eventually is I'll be coming back to Lindy and saying, okay, so you got a real good handle on this stuff, you know what you're doing, but let's go find a really good marketing person that wants to do this socializing marketing and basically place them underneath you so that any efforts they do for you will help you, but it will also, anytime they go out and sell to anybody else, whoever they sell and whatever they make is going to be income generated back to you too. Okay, so my thing is to help people build up their marketing. So, you know, if you've got kind of a full-time job, you don't really have a business of your own, you're kind of interested in this, it's going to be a tough road. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. But one thing that you can do is you can say, hey, I'm not going to pay the $100, I'm not going to join up. I'm just going to pull up the old pages, and I'm going to call somebody up and say, JC, I saw your Yellow Page ad, I bet that's costing you $500 a month, isn't it? And JC's going to go, yeah, it's expensive. How would you like to get way more than that through socializing marketing? I can show you the tools for $99 a month rather than $500. You could do that in the beginning, and if they said, yes, I want to sign up, you could have them come sign up under me, under Linder, under Michael, you know, whoever, it doesn't matter to me. and I give you $100 just for doing that, because they signed up. And that gives you a chance without getting out on the line and getting your credit card out and having to pay every month, to start getting a feel for, well, just how difficult is this business of marketing, and how could I do it before you actually commit to it. The other thing is, you're not signing up for a 2-year contract with Verizon where you're stuck. This is like 30 days, month to month. So, you know, you can quit anytime you want. It's totally up to you. So we're gonna be, you know, I got Linda and I said, I know you don't know anything about this, and I know you're not really big on trying to do it yourself, but if I sign you up, I'm totally gonna support you. She has a 20,000 client database, okay? So she came back to me and she said, Dad, okay, we're up and running, we're kind of slowly squeaking off the starting line here. How do we do this? And I said, well, right now there's a limit of 5,000 emails per month. And she just said, well, I got a 20,000 client database. So I put an email back into Socializing, and the first thing they said was, it was kind of like, gee, I don't know, we've never had somebody ask us, you know, for 20,000. You're big, you know? So we're pushing their envelope. So I just want to say that, Victor, you're doing a great job, and
Thank
I
you
really
very much,
appreciate
Dan.
what you're doing.
No problem.
And it's going to be fun to work with
Each
you
other.
and your family, and when you and I are getting gone, we might have Michael and Alana and your
Michael.
kids, and who knows?
My son and my future daughter, taking over everything. And also, if anybody else is interested in getting motivated sellers or buyers or any private lenders, go ahead and talk to me at my booth right there. I'll be more than happy to show you how to get that all for free.
Good, good.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you guys very much.
So Victor came to me the other day, and you know, the way that I kind of do this socializing marketing business is I just go, well, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of my own personal time dealing with it. I'm just going to do what I normally do, and anytime somebody wants to do something, I'm going to mention it. Like, you want to come and speak at one of our meetings, you can pay $250 to speak, and that's the meeting, and that's it. Or you can pay the same amount, $250. We'll get you signed up for socializing. You can come back here once a year and speak for free. That's, you know, you get to speak, plus you're having the socializing paid for, plus we're going to be here to help you set that up, market it, and everything else. So I've got ways to do what I do, which might be not as easy for you, but I guarantee you, if you're really dedicated, you might be able to jump on the phone book and get out there and do something way more than me, because I just don't have the time to focus there. And that's why it's so important that you have teams and you build all those teams. Okay? So let's see here. As you can see, we're going way over where we were supposed to go, because I really 1:30 to 2, and we're coming up on almost 2:30. We're at 2:20. So I'm gobbling up Cam's area because, as you can see, he didn't make it. Now I want to go over, and this is kind of why I charge people. Sorry to say, you know, I had a speaker, and Cam is wonderful. I want you to totally get the fact that he didn't show up does not reflect on what he can do for you qualifying for a loan. Because my wife Maria will tell you, hey, Maria, Maria, she'll tell you, Dan, if it was up to me, there's no way I would have spent 3 months working with Cam. I would have given up a long time ago. It was just way too much work. Show me your income and all your credit card statements for the last 30 days. I just did that 2 days ago. Show it to me again. Maria's like, what? Yeah, well, you know, this is the game. We got to play it. It was really, really difficult to get through this process. Nobody would have done it like Cam, because here's the truth. First of all, we had a 670 credit score. Cam, if we came to him with that, would have said, don't even come. Don't even talk to me. Can't help you. It's too low. It's not going to work. But, you know, we did the private lender thing and got it up to 800, then he's ready to talk to us. And everybody else we talked to, and I've been trying for 3 years, because an arm and leg loan, as Keith knows, is a dangerous place to be when rates start going up. And the feds are talking now about, you know, raising rates in June. They want to. The global economy's not so good, and that global economy is saying, no, don't raise the rates, U.S., because you're going to affect our market. So who knows? But you know it's going to go up. It's going to go up. So I tried for 3 years, couldn't get there. The last year, 2014, I tried. It was at the top of my goal list. Anybody that worked with me on goals, Sharon worked with me, she can tell you, yeah, I saw Dan's goal list. You know, basically, when we're doing this personal development, we start with the 3 most important goals that you want in a 12-month period by the end of the year. We don't start at week 1 and then 1 month and then 3 months and 6 months. We start at the 12th month and say, hey, pick out, I don't care if your list is 20 goals in your life that you want. Pick out the 3 most important, which you know is going to take more time than dumping the trash. You know, if dumping the trash is at the end of your 3 goals at the end of the year, you know that has that's something you can do in a day. Now, sure, in your mind there might be something to dumping the trash that actually relates for you to eventually get there, but we start at month 12 and we work our way back. After we've got the 3 top goals, we go back to 9 months, back to 6 months, back to 3 months, back to 1 month, and then back to 1 week. And everything has to relate, and each step is 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals. So we really try to focus it, and Sharon can tell you, I saw Dan's 3 goals. He got one of them. He got the refinance on his primary residence and his rental property in Santa Barbara. But he didn't get his wife totally retired, and it was there. Sharon says, I know, I saw, it was there. She's still working. And he says, yeah, but she's gone from 4 or 5 days a week to 3 days a week, and now she just went in the other day when I told her I was retired. I said, you ought to retire too. And she said, well, I'm going to go in there and tell them at least I'm going to 2 days a week. So she went in, and now she's at 2 days a week. And you know, the funny thing is, when I was doing all this real estate stuff and she was really into her nursing thing, she couldn't see anything in real estate that was like, why would I want to do that? In fact, she came to me one time and she said, Dan, you have a duplex out, or we have a duplex out in Isla Vista. I've never managed something like that. I'd like to manage it. Would that be okay with you? And I went, are you serious? And she goes, yeah. And I said, please, I'll cook you a steak dinner. Be my guest. Manage it. Be my guest. She did that for about 6 months, and after 6 months she came back and she said, Dan, that is the most ungodly and awful job I've ever done in my life. Why would anybody want to do that? Please take it back. I said, okay. So from that point on, she's always been like, real estate, whatever. But the closer we're getting to this point in our life, she's realizing that I'm recreating myself, I'm recreating my business, and I'm recreating things that are actually fun and exciting, and she's going, you know, there's actually some things that you're doing here that I think I'd like to do because it looks like fun. Okay? So the whole idea when you get involved with all this investing stuff is you don't go do the things you don't want to do. It's just like working with people you don't want to work with. You do the things you want to do and you delegate and automate the rest. And Victor came back to me the other day and he said, Dan, I just figured out a way to use this program. It's an app on my cell phone called IFTTT. And it's an if and what type program, and I can set up the parameters on Craigslist, and I can have it look for motivated sellers or cash buyers any place in the United States, and it's just going to keep feeding me these things. My phone's going to go off, and I'm going to choose whether I want to contact them or not. Boom. We didn't even need lists from other places, houses lists. And he's a perfect example of, I can teach all day long, and you can teach all day long. We all should be teaching something, but whoever you're teaching is always going to teach you something too. You know, and that's why it's important to work as a team with people, because brainstorming makes a huge difference. So, you know, Cam is absolutely somebody that you're going to want to talk to, and you want to get in contact with him. Roberta, wouldn't you say the biggest problem you have with people doing the deals that you're doing is getting qualified for loans?
Yes. Yeah.
So how often do you have to get people qualified for loans, or are they loans that you're having your investors create, therefore they don't need to go to a bank?
Well, we're carrying the loans. We are carrying the loans for them.
So how do you go about qualifying them, because they wouldn't get qualified at a bank, right?
Correct, yeah. So we have a very, I wouldn't call it strict, but a very consistent process. And you need to do that for the Frank Dodd Act, so that you are protecting yourself as well. So we do have a very consistent process where we are looking at their credit, we are looking at their profile, their public profile, their credit scores, their debt to income ratio. But more importantly than that, we're meeting them face to face, so we're building the relationship. We know what their motivation is for getting into the house to begin with, and that's important.
So there's a couple reasons that she's doing what she's doing. Number one, they can actually make money working with investors to finance these people who couldn't get financed someplace
Right.
else. So that's a real good reason to do what she's doing, and everybody's happy all the way around.
Yes.
And secondly, you know how difficult it is for people to get financed,
Mm-hmm.
given
Right.
the existing, and things have changed in 2015, even worse than it was in 2014. I mean, the laws are making it really, really difficult for people to get a loan.
Mhm.
It is major. So,
Well, Dan, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
We just did a condo, an upside-down condo, $30,000 upside down. The seller ended up, they're gonna be cash flowing, they got money at the front, they're cash flowing at the end, and they've got about an $8,000 spread cash flowing in the middle, and about an $8,000 spread at the end. Now, this was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo, and we had 186 phone calls
wow, that's a lot.
from buyers.
They had a ton.
That's a lot.
Nice.
That's amazing. Kind of reminds me of the property management program that I started using called Building.com. I called up my property manager back in Monroe, Louisiana, and I said, how are we doing with that rental property that's vacant that we need to get rented out? He said, well, not too good. I said, why not? He goes, well, it's in a bad area and I just haven't had very many people. And I said, okay, so tell me about your advertising. He said, what do you mean? And I said, well, how do you market it? He goes, well, the newspaper. Newspaper. Really?
What's that?
You're the same property manager I talked to 3 years ago, and I asked you about Craigslist, and you said, Craig's what? I don't know the guy. Okay. So I said, okay, you want me to help you? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm going to use my property management program, Buildium. So I did. I put the information into Buildium. It automatically goes out to Craigslist, Trulia, Hot Pads, all kinds of things out there. And I mean, I had within 2 or 3 weeks, 25, 30 people interested in renting that place. And I was shoving them down his throat. And he's going, well, I'm getting audited right now. I don't have time for all this. And I said, yeah, I know. That's why my investor wants to go with somebody else. We're going to fire you. He said, oh, how could you do that? How could you do that? You know? He said, it's going to be a 30-day, you know, you're going to, our contract says 30 days. You're going to have to leave that place vacant for 30 days if you want to get rid of me. I said, okay. You want to play it that way? I'll give you 30 days. I'll work with you. We'll get somebody in there. But after the 30 days, if you don't get off your ass and get on with this program that I've got, which is Buildium, to start building up your business and running it like you should instead of this handwritten stuff you've been giving me, we will move on. He said, okay, send it to me, I'll look at it. You know? So you gotta be out there, you gotta train these people to get on the stuff sometime, and that's just the way it is. So it's 2:30, I'm gonna, get out of here, you guys are gonna go back and get a little more wine, a little bit more food, and then we're gonna get Greg up here. I'm just gonna give you a quick break, and then we're gonna get Greg up here, and he's gonna give us some great information on health. Okay? So,
Well,
take a look.
Dan, like he said, it was